Is that outside column? Yeah, I've got one. York City Knights and Whitehaven. And York City Knights need just 1 point, a drawn game, or even better for them, a win, and they will lift the League One Championship and silverware for the very first time since 1980 to 1981. I'm Trevor Hunt. I'm joined by Chris Charles, former Hulkingston Rovers and Salford player, and we're at what is looking at this moment in time like a fairly packed Bootham Crescent ground. These two sides, well, they met some time ago, and I think, Chris Charles, that was the last time, wasn't it, that York managed to get beaten?
Yeah, that's right, Trevor. I think 14 games unbeaten for York, and Whitehaven was the last team to beat him up at Cumbria. So it's a test for York, definitely. But you hope that home advantage will see him through. And the prize that's on offer for York this afternoon is it's a fantastic achievement for the club, for the players, and let's just hope that they can embrace that and take the victory this afternoon. Well,
there's a huge air of expectancy here. The York team, they line up with Matthew Marsh at fullback, Joe Robson, Joe Batchelor, Brad Hay and Matt Chilton, the three-quarter line. Ben Cockayne, you'll know him from Hulkingston Rovers days, alongside Connor Robinson at halfback, the front row of Ronan Dixon, Andy Ellis, I think, playing his last game, Graham Horn, another Hull stalwart, and Josh Jordan Roberts, Sam Scott and Tim Spears, and the coach, of course, James Ford. We'll have a look at the Whitehaven team, and here it is. Daniel Abram at fullback, Jordan Burns, Jason Mossop, Jesse Joe Nandin, better known as Jesse Joe Parker, and Danny Green. And then it's Stephen Roper, Callum Phillips at halfback, and the front row of Jordan Thompson, Stuart Howarth, used to be at Salford, James Tilley, Dion A, Ellis Gillam and Carl Foster. I think it's his last game as well. He's the player coach, scored a hat-trick in the win last week. Well, we've got both teams have got substitutes, and the York City Knights subs are Harry Carter, Joel Edwards, Jack Omenroy and Joe Porter. And then we've got the Whitehaven subs, and they've got 4, not just 2 as shown on there. Chris Coward, Joshua Eves, Connor Holliday and David Thompson. And the referee today is Jack Smith. And what type of game do you really expect here then, Chris Charles?
I think it'll be tough and tight encounter. Maybe a little bit of nerves from York, but hopefully they'll pass early on in the game and they'll settle into their rhythm. They've been on good form, as we mentioned, and hopefully they can bring that into this game and be a dominant force against Whitehaven. But Whitehaven will have a lot to say in this game, won't they? They'll be looking to carry that ball strong, get down the pitch, get some good field position and put York under pressure. So for me, I think it'll be a tight encounter. It's set fair, isn't it? The weather's fantastic. There's a big partisan crowd here, and hopefully it's set fair for a good afternoon of rugby league.
And of course, well, we were talking to Tony Stewart, the assistant coach who used to play at Saints and Salford before the game, and he was saying Whitehaven have come here to try and spoil the party. And the thing is that should York City Knights not win this one, and Bradford Bulls win as you'd anticipate against Hammond Stags, then it would be Bradford Bulls who would snatch the glory.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's obviously what York are fighting against. That they don't want that to happen. Like I say, they're at home, they've got that advantage. Hopefully that they can carry it on. But Whitehaven will have their say definitely through this game. Like you said, Tony Stewart, he said the players are up for it. They're here to spoil the party. They're just going to give it to York, and York are going to have to work very hard this afternoon for that.
Well, we're still waiting for the teams to come out onto the field of play, but they're playing here at this stadium. But it's next year, isn't it, that they should be in a brand new £43 million stadium at Monksfield?
Yeah, a lot of cash, Trevor. It's a good venue for them. Monk's Cross, which is just outside of the city of York, but it is a brand new facility. Both the rugby and the football are going there, and obviously they'll try and kick on to the next level if they possibly can. But it's a fantastic venture, isn't it, for the club. They've started, or they've laid the foundations over the last 18 months, and hopefully they can kick on when they go to the new stadium.
Well, the game's due to kick off at 3 o'clock. But Chris Charles, who in these two teams would you say are the key men we should be looking at?
Well, I always look at the span of the team, Trevor, and you've got Matty Marsh, Ben Cockayne, Connor Robinson in the halves, and Andy Ellis and Tim Spears right up the middle of the pitch. They'll be working hard for York, making sure that they can set up the field position, make sure they can get in decent areas and exploit the Whitehaven defence. A lot of Hull KR connection in there as well, so they'll know each other, they'll know how each other plays, and that helps, just them combinations in and around the important areas of the pitch.
What about Whitehaven?
Well, again, Whitehaven, they'll be looking for their half-backs in Roper and Phillips to guide them around. Abram, I expect to link in at full-back and be the extra sort of pair of hands in key areas again for Whitehaven. So it's set up, like I say, it's a nice ground, isn't it? The pitch looks very good. It's good for playing rugby with these conditions as well. So it's very tough to call, and hopefully, like York, can get the job done from their point of view.
Well, the one thing is that they've actually got glorious blue skies, and that's not what we've had to the latter end of last week in particular. It seems that the aftermath of the hurricanes and the typhoons that are on the other side of the world have left us, at least for the time being, and glorious blue skies, a little bit of white cloud in the sky, cotton wool style cloud, and these two teams should be coming out onto the field, and it looks like they're just about to be led out now. It's Whitehaven who are coming out first, I think, led by Carl Foster, and he scored a hat-trick on his last home performance last week when Whitehaven beat Coventry. You couldn't ask for a better send-off from your home fans than that. And will he be a key player here for Whitehaven, do you think? Yeah,
he will. Like I say, he's on good form, isn't he? And taking that into this game, if it's his last game, like we're led to believe, he'll want to go out on a high as well. And it's a difficult job being play coach, and feel his pain. I've done that myself a few years ago, and it's not an easy job, but he'll be trying to lead his team from the front and put them in decent positions, and hopefully he can get a result for Whitehaven.
Well, here comes York City Knights, and standing ovation for them. The fans, they've been delighted with the season they've seen here, and look at this crowd here. It's marvellous that they've got three sides of the ground pretty much well packed, to say the least. And when you look at the people who are stood up applauding them as they come onto the field, it was Andy Ellis who brought them out, and well, I believe he's going to be his last appearance, something around about 350 appearances, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right, Trevor. I remember Andy from a young lad again at Hull KR, and he's always had a great attitude, and that's carried him out through his career. He's played at Featherstone, of course, as well, and he'll have fond memories of his career, I'm sure, when he looks back in a few years' time. He had the honour there of leading the team out, and the crowd gave him a good reception, so credit to him for his career. He's got to take the emotion out of things as they start playing, and just get the job done today, but hopefully he'll do that, and he'll guide his team around from the hooking position.
Well, it's marvellous that they're bringing out their own children, isn't it? That's absolutely sensational that they're all coming out together here, and that was Joel Edwards with his three children, and you're talking about the emotion. I know they'll want to win for the kids, but you just hope that they can do it today. That there's one last job to be done, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely, Trevor. Like I said, all week that have known that this is coming, and the next day goes, it gets closer and closer, and you start getting giddy yourself, and you start thinking about the game, thinking about what you're going to try and do in that game, and the impact that you're going to have on it. And the players, like I said, have been drummed into them all week about just staying calm under pressure, making sure they get the job done, and let's hope that York can do that this afternoon.
Yeah, and you did mention you used to be a player coach. Was that at Villeneuve in France, and you couldn't speak any French?
Yeah,
it must have been a tough gig, that one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, tough gig. Yeah, character building, I think, Trevor. I think that's what it was. But I took a job in France, and better for the experience. But yeah, it was a very tough job.
Well, it's Whitehaven to kick off there in the grey strip. It's York City Knights in the white with the yellow stripes on it, and the first kick deep downfield is taken by York as York look to bring it away from in front of their own post. You are in action. The last game of the season, hopefully, for York Knights. They're hoping they won't be involved in the playoffs, because if they finish top of this particular tree in League One, they'll be automatically promoted into the Championship for 2019. The alternative doesn't really bear thinking about, because that would be them in the playoffs. But they get the first penalty of the game, and that penalty, I think, is for offside if they play the ball. So first penalty, crucial that they make the most of this territorial dominance upfield.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of good carries in that set from York, and Graham Horn in particular, getting his leg drive, getting his nose over the advantage line, and just put Whitehaven under pressure. We're able to get set at marker, and then resulted in a penalty for York.
Well, there's plenty of effort indeed from Whitehaven on the defence. As we've said already, they come here determined to try and spoil this York party. Ellis is at dummy half there, looks to move this ball out. Indeed, does so to Cockayne, and out to this left-hand side. Quick hands, looking to get the numbers on this left flank as they put it in with Hay, and Hay's tackled on this left side. That's the try line. They're about 5 metres out. Ball put back inside. Quick hands again, looking to drive forward and into those sticks. And it's again close to that Whitehaven try line. Ellis puts it to his right. Quick hands across, and Cockayne, that little short ball, trying to find the room for Scott. Scott pushed towards the try line. Then, as he tackled on his back over the try line, he'll have to go back to the 10. A bit of a wrestle on the ball, and eventually Scott gets it. And the referee, well, what's happening here? He's having a word with him about this, but I think it's not clear whether it's a handover or whatever as far as these two are concerned. And it just showed the tension here in this game, that they're already, not quite 2 minutes gone, having a little bit of an arm wrestle as Scott looks to play the ball here on the 10-metre mark. Ellis then puts it to his left to Horn. Little inside ball, and that is the last tackle. I think that's the handover, and they're keeping the pressure on York.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, some decent passes of play there. They created the 2-on-1 on the left flank, but unfortunately just couldn't find the winger on this side. But some good play from York, really testing the sort of edges of the Whitehaven defence, but just couldn't get over the line there. But you know, they're trying to get that good early start. They're putting Whitehaven under pressure in defence now as well, so making it tough for them to get away from their run line.
Well, you're watching live the League One Championship clash, and that is between Whitehaven in the grey kit and York in the white with the black shorts. I'm Trevor Hunt, alongside me is Chris Charles, former Hull Kingston Rovers and Salford player, and we're bringing you this live courtesy of Betfred. At the moment though, the ball is out, moved from right to left for this Whitehaven team, looking to see if they can find a bit of room on this near side. Pressure on York to defend. Ball moved infield as they keep this alive. Howarth, of course, from the man. Ball gone backwards, quick pressure, but in the end, a kick deep downfield. Back they go, goes Matty Marsh to take that. In fact, it's Robinson who's taking it on the end, and Robinson is the man who brings it infield. And it's going to be with this team, this York team, on the run line, looking to take it forward a little step, trying to go forward with Marsh this time. He's tackled just short of the halfway mark. Out towards this left side they go. Quick hands, trying to force the play. Looking dangerous every time they got it. Ellis at dummy half, pointing to his left, puts the ball to his right, brings it into the line. Again, it's with York in this possession. Ellis again, out to his left side again, looking to dummy, steps forward, find a bit of a gap. Didn't need the support of Robinson. Robinson this time, puts it out wide, looks to Cockayne, he puts the kick to the right-hand side. Pressure on that left flank, and in the end, Robinson, that's Ash Robinson comes in. Connor Robinson at 6, of course, Ash Robinson at number 1, and they pin down this Whitehaven side. So they've had a couple of kicks, they've completed the sets. That's just, I'm sure, what James Ford, the coach, will be wanting. Chris Charles. Yeah,
that's right. Just getting that field position. You know, they've got Spears who's carrying the ball up really well for York in this early part of the game. You've got Ellis who's probing in around that dummy half position, trying to gain the advantage. Just that kick there from Ben Cockayne, just maybe a little bit more height on it to give his on-rushing attack the chance to get underneath that ball, but well taken by Whitehaven. But again, York making it very difficult for Whitehaven to get away from the run line.
Well, it's the last tackle here, and the kick is out from dummy half. Chilton goes back for it, takes it well, and gets the applause of his fans. Now he comes back in field, as he takes it back, it's up onto that 40-metre mark. The ball moved to the right, and run this time from Hay, and Hay taking it forward up towards halfway. York playing contained, controlled rugby at this moment in time. Off goes Robinson. That's Robinson, just a few more metres gained. Everybody wants to touch the ball in the early stages. Ball out to that right. Again, it's the step from Horn. Horn makes it good metres. And then he's held down just a little bit too long, and another penalty, a second penalty of the game. That goes York's way. And I suppose at times like this, you might wonder whether you go for the 2 or you run it. What would you think, Chris?
Well, I think you know, it looks like they are going to run it, aren't they? But you know, the option there just to get them points on the board early on, it's right in front of the stick, so you can understand why they possibly will go for 2, but they haven't. They've kept the pressure on and just trying to go for that try early on in this game.
Well, Horn, the man who's taking it in, and great atmosphere here at the ground here. They've got an air of expectancy. It's out whip wide to that right-hand side. We're going to force the way through, but there's no way in the end through the Whitehaven defensive line. On that far side of the field, Joe Batchelor playing in the centre, of course. And it comes again out to this left-hand side. They've got the numbers and can't quite get through Matthew Marsh. The dummy, they couldn't quite take it. Chilton wants the quick play of the ball. Thinks he'll have a crack at it himself. Goes towards the line. And in the end, he's tackled probably about 2 metres short. Just the left-hand side of the post. Ellis, little kick in the goal area. Foster takes it with a referee not happy about something in that instance. And I think he said the ball was palmed down. What do you reckon, Chris?
Yeah, it looked like the Whitehaven player had reached round and
there we go. We're going to look at this again.
Just knocked the ball out of Andy Ellis's hand as he. I think that's correct from the referee there. But, as Andy Ellis has tried to pass it, however, come round prior to that, and you know, for me, I think that's the correct decision from Mr. Smith. But you know, it's all York in this early part of the game. You know, making really good yards up the middle of the pitch, giving them options both sides as well, which is it's possibly how they're set up every week. Just couldn't create the overlap on this left-hand side again with Marsh coming into the line, but pressure is all on this Whitehaven line.
Well, in 1980 and 1981, when they finished as Division 1 champions,